Hi all, this is Dr. Arpana Chaturvedi from the Department of Information Technology. The subject which I am taking is Artificial Intelligence, and in this today we will talk about propositional logic, in which we'll look how to perform resolution. First of all, we'll see clausal form. Clausal form is basically a spatial form of representation of propositions which are given over there to resolve a problem. A clause is a disjunction of literals. Basically, what are literals? Literals are all the you can say different propositions along with the symbols, individual propositions which are given over there. A propositional symbol or a negation of a propositional symbol, these all are known as literals. So the conjunction of these all literals or disjunctions of these all literals is known as clause. All single propositions are called as atom or literal. A disjunction will always be consist of propositions that are connected with or logical connective. Like this is the disjunction form of a proposition. If there are three propositions which are given P, Q and R, we have connected all the three propositions given proposition using or connective, using the logical connective which is or. So this is a disjunctive normal form. A conjunctive, on the other hand, consists of all the propositions which are connected with each other using AND logical connective. Like here, if in case P, Q and R are three different propositions, all the three are connected with each other using AND logical connective. So this is a conjunctive form. Clause allows us to convert any logical statement which are given to solve a problem into conjunctive normal form. Where is a conjunction of clauses are like, see, look over here. We are having proposition A, B, C, D, E, F and G. Now, the connection between the connectives which we are using between A, B and C is OR. The connective which is used between D and not E is OR. The connective which is used between F and G is OR. But all these set of three connectives are connected with each other using AND logical connective. So this is basically known as conjunctive normal form. Whenever the propositions which are given over there are connected with each other using AND logical connective, then we say that the form is in the form of conjunctive normal form. Like here, we have to, before converting any given proposition into conjunctive normal form, we should understand that what are the different rules or what are the different steps. So let's say we are given not, then A implies B or C implies A. So first of all, what we are supposed to do, we have to look if in case in the given uh, proposition implication symbol is over there. In case implication symbol is over there, our first step should be to remove that implication symbol. And how we can remove the implication symbol? Using rule. We know this thing that if P implies Q, then it can also be written as not P or Q. So the first job which you are supposed to do is remove elimination symbol. And how we remove? Using this particular rule, that is P implies Q is equivalent to not P or Q. Like here, this is the statement which is given to you. This is a proposition which is given to you. What will do? A implies B will be going to get converted into not A or B. C implies A will be going to get converted into not C or A. This or symbol was already there, not symbol was already there. As all the propositions are connected with or logical connect, it is in disjunctive normal form. Now, second step is to remove double negation. We have to check in case we are having double negation in the given proposition, we have to remove. To remove double negation, we should remember this thing that we are having certain rules which we have already studied. That is, if not is all outside the given proposition, set of proposition like P or Q, it can also be written as not P and not Q. This rule is known as De Morgan's law. Another is not, and it's within a bracket, it's P and Q can also be written as not P or not Q. And in case we are finding double negation, then not within bracket not P will also be equals to P. Using these all rules, this particular set of given proposition, the proposition which is given now, after solving, after using step 1 and removing elimination symbol is not A or B or not C or B. This can also be written as not A and not B, then or will be as it is not C and A. Look carefully what we have done. We have used this thing not and not A is one thing, and this symbol will be going to get changed into and. This is 1, and then we will say this symbol will be going to get converted into and then this not B. Which rule we have used? We have used this particular De Morgan's law. Not is outside of what? Not A, and here it is or B. We have to use De Morgan's law for this, and how will be using? We can open this bracket by first of all writing not A, then this or symbol will become and then not B. That is what we have written over here, and there is no change in this particular set of proposition logic. Now second job which we have to do is we have to now remove the double negation symbol. So we know that double negation can be, if anywhere we are finding double negation, so negation will be going to get cancelled with with the negation only, and the original proposition will be going to get back. Like over here, not will be going to get cancelled with not, and we are left with A. So we are writing A and not B or not C or A. Now this is step 2, where what we have done, we have removed double negation symbol. Now step 3 is, now we have to convert the given proposition into conjunctive normal form. Now to convert what is conjunctive normal form? Conjunctive normal form says that all the proposition should be connected with and symbol. Fine. Now for this we will be using distributive and associative law. So the question arises, what is distributive law and what is associative law? So distributive law says if there are three propositions, and here the given proposition is like P and within bracket Q or R, then this can also be written as P and Q or P and R. Similarly, in case the proposition is given like this P or and within bracket Q and R, it can also be written as P or Q and P or R. And associative law says if it is written like P and Q within one bracket or R, it can also be written as P and Q and R within one bracket. Or if it is if or symbol is used over here as a connective, like P or Q within one bracket, then or R, then it can also be written as P or and within bracket Q or R. So here we are given this particular statement. This is the statement which we have concluded with after implementing the rules used in step 2. So we reached to this particular step wherein proposition A and not B within one bracket, then or symbol, then not C or A. So this particular given set of proposition can also be written as A or C. We are using distributive law. A or C and this complete. A or not C or A, then symbol of and, then we will write not B along with this particular set of proposition, not B or not C or A. Now these two propositions are connected with each other using AND connectors. This is AND logical connect. And what is what this your conjunctive normal form says. Conjunctive normal form says that all the prepositions should be connected with symbol and then it will be in conjunctive normal form. So here what we have achieved after implementing distributed law, we have achieved A or not C or A within one bracket, then end symbol not B or not C or A. Now one more change can be made over here. What is that? This A or A, this A, look over here, this A or A, this can also be written as A, this A or A. So this A or A will be going to get replaced by A, then we are left with or not C, and here symbol of and will be there, then the another proposition there will be no change, not B or not C or A. So now finally we are having one proposition as A or not C, another is not B or not C or A, and both are connected with logical connective, that is AND. So hence this is a conjunctive normal form, but it is having two disjunctive normal form. One is A or not C, another is not B or not C or A. So both disjunctive normal form are connected with each other using AND. That's why we can say that we have achieved the conjunctive normal form of a given preposition. And this is how we can solve the given set of problem and convert that into conjunctive normal form. Now we see, let's say we will see one of the example. Let's say we are given if a triangle is equilateral then it is isosceles. Another propositional statement which is given to us is if a triangle is isosceles, the two sides AB and AC are equal. If AB and AC are equal, we can say angle A and angle C are also equal. And fourth sentence which is given is ABC is an equilateral triangle. We have to prove that angle B and angle C are equal. So what all the steps which we'll be using? First step, we'll be converting all given statement into proposition. Once we convert all the statement into proposition, we have to convert all proposition into clausal form. To convert all the proposition into clausal form, we have used three steps. First is we have eliminated the symbol of implication. Second is we have removed double negation. And third is using distributive or associative property, we have converted that into conjunctive normal form. Once we convert the given proposition into conjunctive normal form, we will prove the given statement using problem of reduction or refutation. It means that we will be using the opposite of the statement which is given to you. Let's say it is given angle B and angle C are equal. You have to suppose angle B is not equals to angle C. And in case after resolving all the given predicates using resolvents, if at the end we will be received with null statement, we say that whatever we have supposed was contradicted. It means opposite of whatever we have supposed is correct, and we can prove that the given uh, statement is correct. How we do? First, we are converting all the statement into proposition. How we'll write? ABC is an, if ABC is an equilateral triangle, then it is an isosceles triangle. So what we can write? We can use implication symbol. What I am saying, ABC is an equilateral triangle, then it implies that ABC is an isosceles triangle. Second, if ABC is an isosceles triangle, then AB and AC sides are equal. Then if AB and AC sides are equal, then it implies that B and C angles are equal. And fourth is equilateral ABC. So here we have converted all the statement into proposition. Now we have to remove the symbol of implication. So we'll go to step 2 and we will remove this symbol of implication. So we know this thing that in case there are two proposition and P implies Q, then it can also be written as, if P implies Q, then it can also be written as not of P or Q. So looking at this particular property, here this is P, equilateral triangle ABC is P and this is Q. So what we will convert this implication symbol, not equilateral ABC or isosceles ABC. Similarly, second, isosceles ABC triangle is, if ABC is an isosceles triangle, then it implies that angle AB and side AB and AC are equal. How we can write? We can write not of isosceles ABC or equal AB AC. Now we are given if AB and AC sides are equal, then it implies that angle B and angle C are also equal. How we can convert that? Not of equal AB comma AC or equal B comma C. Equilateral ABC will be as it is. So here we have removed the symbol of implication. Now what we do, we'll use step 3. Within step 3, what we'll be doing, we are given with equal B comma C. Angle B is equals to angle C. We have to prove this. This proposition is already in clausal form. We will take opposite of it, that is not equal. Angle B and angle C are not equal, and the proposition of this particular statement will be not equal B comma C. So using this, here we will be writing what is given. We are given as a statement 1 as not equal B comma C. We are already having 4 propositions which are already been converted into clausal form. Here we will see where this equal B comma C is coming. It is coming in statement number 3. And what is mentioned over there? Not equal AB comma AC or equal BC. So here we can cancel this because we know this thing. Keep P or not P equals to null, equals to null. So this will be going to get cancelled. We are left with only not equal AB comma AC. Now again we will see where the opposite of not equal AB comma AC is lying. It is lying in statement 2. Again we'll write over here and we will use this as an resolvent, and these two statements will be going to get cancelled because this will be producing null. We are left with not isosceles ABC. Again we will see that in which particular proposition isosceles ABC is given and can work as resolvent. So it is given in statement 1. Again these two proposition will be going to get cancelled. We are left with not equilateral ABC. Now in statement 4th we are given equilateral ABC. Equilateral ABC and not equilateral ABC will be going to get cancelled, worked over here as a resolvent, and we are left with null. So at the end we are not left with any resolvent. We have used all the propositions. We are not having anything in our head. We keep on iterating the statements to resolve the given propositions, and at the end, as we have achieved null, we can say that whatever we have supposed, that is wrong because it is resulting with null statement. So it means कि whatever we have supposed, opposite of that is true. We have supposed at the beginning that not B and C angles are not equal. It means कि angle B and angle C are equal, and we have proved using resolution method that in the given statements, after performing resolvent and after inferring from the facts which are given over there, we reach to the conclusion that angle B and angle C will also be equal in case ABC is an equilateral triangle, and as ABC is an equilateral triangle, ABC is an isosceles triangle. If ABC is an isosceles triangle, then side AB and AC are equal. If side AB and AC are equal, then definitely angle B and angle C are also equal. So this is how we have resolved the problem. And as we started with the negative statement, that's why we say that we solved using refutation, because we have used the negative statement. Now again, this is another way I have already explained you. This way also you can write. This is another. To conclude what we have used, we have first of all converted given propositions into clausal form, then converted the negative of the sentence to be proved into clausal form. Then we have combined all the given clauses forms together as a set. Then we keep on iterating, applying resolution to the set, and we keep on adding the resolvent. We keep on doing till we are not obtained with some result or null clause. As we have achieved the null clause, that means ki the whatever we have supposed, the opposite of that is true, and we have proved. So these are the steps which we have used. Now there is another example which we can learn over here. What we are given mammals drink milk. The first thing is we have to convert it into prepositions. How will convert? We will convert in this way. We can write mammal. Now mammal drink milk. Here it is given man is mortal. Here it is given man is a mammal. Here it is given man is a Tom is a man. So if Tom is a man, it means, look over here carefully, if Tom is a man and we are saying that Tom is all man is mammal, it means ki Tom is a man and he is a mammal also. Then as we are saying ki man is mortal, it means ki as Tom is a man, it means ki Tom is mortal. And as we are saying ki mammals drink milk, so mammal where man is a mammal and Tom is a man. So Tom is mammal also, and Tom is mortal also. As Tom is mammal, it means ki Tom drinks milk. So how we will write? We will write Tom is a mammal and it implies that Tom drink milk. So this is the first proposition. Another, man is mortal. Who is man? Tom is man. So it means ki Tom is man and Tom is mortal. Then man is a mammal. Who is man? Tom is a man. So if Tom is a man, then Tom is a mortal. And this is already given. We have to prove that Tom drinks milk and Tom is mortal. How we will do this? So here we have written all the proposition and given the name P to Tom is a mammal and Tom drink milk. Q2, Tom is a man and it implies that Tom is mortal. RS, Tom is a man and it implies that Tom is mammal. S is Tom is man. Now we apply modus ponens because we are given two questions. So we have given we have to prove this using modus ponens rule also and also using refutation. So if we apply modus ponens on R and S, so what will be going to have? We know that what this modus ponens rule says, that if P implies Q is true as well as if P is true, then we say that Q is also true. Then we say that Q is also true. This is a modus ponens rule. Fine. So if this is P here and this is Q, fine. And if it is true, and if in case P is also true, then definitely Q will also be true. So that's why what we said, कि Tom is a mammal. Similarly, now we take this rule P and this one, Tom is a mammal. Okay? This one. This is now, if we like give numbering to this, 1, 2, 3, 4, and now this is 5. So if we take this, Tom is a mammal and Tom is a mammal, it implies that Tom drinks milk. So again, if this P implies Q, if this P implies Q is true and Q is true, this is, and or P is true, if P, mammal, Tom is a mammal is, let's say P. If this is true, then automatically this will also become true. And what it says, using modus ponens, that Tom drink milk, and we have proved that Hence we can say that Tom drink milk. So this is first solution wherein we are asked to solve the problem using modus ponens. Now second is we have to use the method of refutation. So using these all clauses on these all proposition only, we will solve the problem using refutation, for which first of all we have to eliminate the symbol of elimination, then we have to change it into clausal form, then we have to perform resolvent on the given resolutions, and after before that we have to suppose whatever we have to prove as a negative sentence, then we have to keep on performing resolvent on the different set of resolutions. At the end, if we are getting null, it means whatever we have supposed was wrong. So keeping that thing in mind, firstly what we are doing, we are removing all symbol of implication, and that we know that if P implies Q, then it can also be said that not P or Q. Keeping this particular rule in mind, we are writing this as Tom is a mammal implies Tom drinks milk. We can also write this Tom is not a mammal or Tom drink milk. Similarly, if Tom is a man implies Tom is mortal, we can say if Tom is not a man, either Tom is not a man or Tom is mortal. Now third is Tom is a man implies Tom is mammal. So we can write this Tom is not a man or Tom is mammal. Now fourth is Tom is man. Our goal is to prove this thing that Tom drink milk. Our goal is who drink? Tom drink milk. So we take the negative of this, that Tom does not drink milk. Now using this, that Tom does not drink milk, now again we keep on applying resolvent. Here these are the set of propositions. We have supposed that Tom does not drink milk. We see where this particular proposition is appearing. It is appearing in first set of like proposition only. So we will be going to just cancel this, not drink Tom comma milk with drink Tom comma milk. We are left with Tom is not a mammal. Now we will see where this Tom is mammal is appearing. It is appearing in third clausal form of given proposition. Again these will be going to get cancelled. We are left with Tom is not a man. Now we'll see where the opposite of this is given. It is given in clausal form 4. So this will again get cancelled with each other and we are left with null. As we are left with null, it means that whatever we are supposed, we are contradicting with this. So opposite of that is true, and opposite of not Tom does not drink milk is Tom drink milk, and we have proved this thing that Tom drink milk. So this is how the inference engine works. Inference engine is having some set of statements stored with them in the form of propositions or predicates, as we see in the form of clausal forms, using all different rules and operators and different laws. The inference engine will be inferring certain concepts, and then at the end will be going to give me the answer. So this is how the inference engine will be going to work. This is all for today. In next class we'll be seeing predicate clause. Why? Because in the previous class we have already seen that there is a disadvantage of proposition logic. What is that? We cannot talk about quantity. We cannot talk about that all men drinks milk. If we have to represent all, we don't have any symbol in proposition. Or if we say some men drink milk, so we are not having any symbol to represent the universe or to represent a part of universe, or we can say we don't have any symbol to quantify the object for which we are talking about. So for this we have the solution is predicate clause, which is also known as first order predicate logic. So that we will see in coming lecture. Thank you. Thanks for the day.